Hey guys, I'm Roger Harry and I am the Investor's Accountant. Welcome to this edition of Tax Update. Now before we get going, there are three things that I would like you to do. I'd like you to click subscribe, click like, and hit the bell. That way you're not going to miss any of our free educational videos. So let's get into the tax update. You know, last week we talked about how the income limit for taxes going up in many cases is $200,000, not $400,000. Well, now we want to talk about something that I have spoken about before, and that's called the stepped up basis. Under the current law, if the current value of a property that I inherit is $2 million, then I get a stepped up basis to the current fair market value of the property. So I could sell the property immediately for $2 million and have no capital gain. Well, Mr. Biden's legislative process is going to make some changes to that. And what he's betting on is with a Democrat-controlled Congress that they'll be able to jam this through. Now, this is actually not a loophole. The stepped-up basis has been on the books longer than I've been practicing. In fact, I first learned about a stepped-up basis when I was in college. I'm 52 years old, so I was in my early 20s. This has been on the books forever. But here's what's going to happen under his proposal. You will still get a stepped-up basis in a way, but what they're intending to do is tax the unrealized capital gain. They are going to deem that the assets have been sold at death to you at fair market value. And a capital gain is going to have to be calculated and filed on the decedent's final tax return. So, if the property was worth $2 million and my parents had paid $500,000 for it, I have a $1.5 million capital gain. Now, there's some things that we don't know the truth about yet. One, he says that there's $1 million exemption. So, is that $1 million in total? Or, since this gain is over 1.5 million, is the whole gain taxable? We don't know what he means with gains under $1 million. We'll have to figure that one out. And this doesn't apply to your primary residence. The primary residence is going to be treated as sold, and the same rules about whether or not a primary residence sale is taxable that exist right now are going to be applied to this. So, if your father passes away and you get his house, then the gain, if it's over $250,000, will be taxed. Okay? That's just the way this works. So, $1 million exemption is available, and we're going to treat the primary residence the same way we treat it as if we actually sold it. So, a couple other things we don't know. Is it $1 million per asset, or is it $1 million aggregate? I'm betting it's $1 million aggregate. And oh, by the way, those of you who are saying, well, if he does this, I'll just move my property into trust. There's actually antitrust provisions that are being written into this law that when you move the property to a trust, it will trigger the same deemed sale. Sorry guys, that's the bad news of the day. Now, there's another exemption. Family farms and family businesses would be exempt from the $1 million capital gain rule as long as those that inherit the property, meaning the children that do the inheriting, as long as they are the ones running the business. Meaning you can't just inherit the business and then turn around and sell it. You have to actually operate it. Now there's one more thing I want to tell you about. And this affects anybody that is a part of a partnership or an S-Corp where you actually work in the corporation or work in the partnership. Mr. Biden is proposing that your partnership income on the K-1 is actually now investment income. So in addition to paying income tax, he is looking to have you pay the 3.8% investment tax as well. That's not good news either. Now, Of course, he says this is only for people making greater than $400,000, but as we learned in the last video, the $400,000 is for married filing joint. If you're married separate or single or head of household, so sorry, the max is $200,000. Well, that's it for today, guys. If you've got any comments, just put them below, or you can shoot an email to info@investorsaccounting.com. And hey, until the next time, Roger out.